What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and in today's video we're going to be going over day 1 of the global event Reanimated. Now I know this may not be the most popular one that we have, however these events happen to be a great time to gain a lot of stars and buy a lot of different caches and hopefully stack up on a bunch of gear, so today I wanted to pass along a few tips which should hopefully help you out. Now if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button, and if you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really does help us out. So right now we're going to start off with the event itself and really focus on the rewards. And as you can see, you have your typical seasonal reward track. And what that means for those of you just returning to the game is you can see in the right hand side there are certain challenges you can complete on a daily basis throughout the week. And as you complete those challenges, you're going to gain progression in the tier system. And as you do that, you're going to gain some caches as well. However, in my opinion, one of the most efficient ways to gain stars during this event is to do XP farming and level up while the event is active, because when it is active you're going to get a star for every shade level that you gain. So today we're going to focus on some farming areas. And as we move on, I want to remind new and returning players you have to turn the event on in order to gain those stars during your actual farming and whatever you're doing. Now you always have the option of turning it off, but if it is turned off, you're not going to gain a star for every shade level that you gain. So again, think about what you're doing, make sure you turn it on. You can see from the page, you go here, you press X, it's going to activate the event, and once it's active, you will see a notification at the top of the page. Now, as most of you know, there are no shortages of ways that you can farm for XP in this game. You have missions, you have control points, you have bounties, you have open world activities. And on that note, one of my favorite ways to farm are territory controls. And the reason for that is because they're in a stationary location, therefore you know your surroundings, what they're going to be like when you actually get to the spot that you're farming. So this happens to be one of my favorite ones, and you'll see when we get here, once I land at the location, it takes me about 30 seconds to get there, and then another minute to actually clear it. Now there happen to be a few things I want to mention as we move on. First of all, I'm using 3 directives on challenging difficulty, and I'll go into the reasons why in a moment. But secondly, in regards to my build, it's just a basic Hunter's Fury build. I'll leave a link in the description down below, because when you're doing this, you want to be really efficient with your time, which means moving quickly, and you want to aim for the head. As you can see by the footage, it is very apparent when you get a headshot in this game, you get that big cloud of green smoke. Now if you miss the headshot on the first time, the NPC will reanimate, which is why it's called that, and when you take them out a second time, they cannot respawn a third. Now once again, the reason I like this location is you're going to take out all of the NPCs in less than a minute. You're going to get a key. Once you open up a key, you're going to go to the cache, and once that's open, you will see you'll net about 200,000 XP in about a minute and a half of gameplay. Now once you've opened the cache, you then have a few options on what you can do next. You can either reset your control points and hope that that same territory control is in the same location, and if it is, I recommend farming it over and over again to really stack that XP. And your other option is to open up the map and see what other world activities are going on. If there's an elite patrol, jump on that because you're going to get even more XP in a shorter amount of time. However, with the elite patrols, they don't have the option of respawning right away. They respawn, I think, every 30 minutes, but always keep your lookout for other things you can do. So I've made these videos in the past, and one question I get asked a lot is why would you bother dropping the difficulty and adding directives to do something that you could typically do on your own on Heroic? And for me, it's all about time management. So to give you an example, right here, if I were to do Lincoln Memorial on Heroic difficulty with 3 directives, it would net me about 615,000 XP, as you can see on the screen. However, I'm going to have to deal with, possibly dying, and not only that, I need to think to myself, how long is it going to take me to actually get through the gameplay on Heroic with 3 directives? Will it take me 10 minutes? So let's say I have a 10-minute mark. Now in 10 minutes, it'll net me that 615,000. However, in that same amount of time, I can do 4 to 5 territory controls, net over 800,000 easily, and not have to worry about a headache of having to start over and go from there. Now once you've done some farming, gained some stars, you want to go to the seasonal vendor, and that's where you're going to spend them. Now in my opinion, you want to buy one of 2 caches at the time. You either want to buy a named cache or a legacy cache. Now there are exotic caches as well. However, the named caches and the legacy caches do have Dark Zone exclusive items. So for instance, right now at one of the Dark Zone vendors, the Dark Winter SMG happens to be for sale, but many people do not go into the Dark Zone. They don't have the resources, or they haven't gotten the weapon. Now when you buy the named exclusive caches, it does give you a chance to possibly get that from them, so it is definitely worth your time to grind for the stars. One thing I want to mention for new and returning players is to claim the actual caches that you earn as you're gaining tier progression. You need to go into your menu, you need to click on Reanimated, and you'll be prompted on where to actually claim that reward itself. Now, as far as the caches that you buy, those will be put directly into your inventory. You can open them up anytime you want. And if you happen to, let's say, forget to open up caches or whatever, they will go to your mailbox, so you will not lose them at any time. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting farming videos, build videos, any videos whatsoever together is the community we have here at the channel. We are a family, so if you have any tips or tricks you want to pass along, please let me know in the comments section down below, as the main goal is to help each other out as much as we can. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel, and remind you, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Hostile control point detected.